Afenyomakin is the minority leader
as an interesting man on you can see it. For those of you watching on TV, that is Jacob Zuma from South Africa. On your screens,
what do you do with the accent today?
It is interesting that we actually do have him in the country to support the swearing in of John Dramani Mahama, who a few days, just about 2 days after the final declaration, had to take a quick trip around a number of countries, so he reignites relationship.
There's an interaction he had with President Akufo-Addo at the presidency. We managed to hear what they were talking about. Interestingly, when he met the outgoing president, we understand that the delegation from Equatorial Guinea are just arriving at the venue as well. And Martin, when he met the president, the former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, told him that you've been touring the continent a lot. You are traveling around. I see you traveling around. And you know his response? He said that, look, he wants to hit the ground running. And he does not want to travel once he takes over. So he wants to have time to settle immediately he takes over. And that is how come he was doing the tours that ordinarily he would be doing once he's taking office. And so that comes back to the point that we're making earlier on about the fact that, look, this is someone who is an experienced leader. He's been there, he's done that. He knows the terrain. Of course, there might be a change or two based on what has happened in the last few years when he was in opposition. He didn't have direct access as president to some of the key decision makers on the continent and beyond. So it is instructive to especially many people who are watching, and based on the level of expectation of the president-elect, he had to quickly touch base with a number of the presidents of other countries, especially those that we have good bilateral relations with, to trigger or initiate conversations regarding what kind of assistance they can give us as a country now that he is about to take the realms of affairs of the country. And so it's part of why some of the countries he visited, those presidents have actually also decided to come down to support him in his inauguration. And we also have the leadership of the National Democratic Congress, the Chief of Staff also sat together. So that is Johnson Esiedun Ketia, National Chairman of the NDC in white. On his right, we have Julius Debra, who is the Chief of Staff. That was not in doubt because he was Chief of Staff when Mahama was president and was actually his right-hand man throughout opposition. I am personally amazed that the Rwandan president, Paul Kagame, is also in Ghana. I mean, it's amazing to have such dignified personalities on the continent come around to observe and grace the occasion. And some people of a certain level of repute have talked about how Ghana and Rwanda are the shining examples of what the continent can be if we are focused as a people in trying to help Africa out of its current doldrums and challenges. And Rwanda has been touted as a shining example on the continent. As we speak, many people have said, and personally I've also observed, how Rwanda, their capital Kigali, is the cleanest city on the continent, and President Paul Kagame has been very instrumental in getting the country that had serious genocide in 1994 come out of that genocide, and now a shining example on the continent. So it looks like Ghana is also on the same path. Martin, I have been to Kigali before. It's a beautiful country.
Very beautiful.
And what's amazed me about Kigali is the fact that, look, the land space is not particularly flat like we have it in most parts of the country. It's quite a hilly area, but they've been able to build such that they make good use of space. And so because if you have a limited flat space, you go down a lot before you raise the building up. It's also a very clean country there, and so that is very important.
And it's the way they are orderly as a country that surprises me. And you know, so when I asked him what he thought about Ghana, he said that a lot of them were looking up to Ghana. And you know, Ghana and Rwanda also have a special relationship because Koku Anyidoho's father, coincidentally, happened to be one of the officers who was leading the delegation of soldiers at the time when they had the genocide there. And
it's interesting. It's interesting how we are all talking about Rwanda with so much delight. Let's one day talk about Accra with such delight.
And that is why it's necessary to look at that example.
The president-elect John Dramani Mahama is arriving now at the venue that is the Independence Square, where the parliamentary session is taking place as we speak. So this is the moment all the persons, and in fact everyone watching us, has been waiting for. The president-elect John Dramani Mahama has arrived at the Independence Square. The ceremony will take place, in fact, will proceed in the next few minutes. As you see them, Sheikh Osman Nuhu Shaributu, the National Chief Imam, Dr. Sheikh Imam Nuhu Shaributu. See there also, you have one of the key persons in John Mahama's campaign, Professor Joshua Alabi, who sat with Kemenia Mano not too long ago on hot issues, and he detailed the strategy that he also put in place and the role he played in the NDC winning power again after 8 years in opposition. And this is the moment, as we're seeing right now, with the arrival of President-elect John Dramani Mahama. Kemeni, this is the moment we've all been waiting for, is it not?
Absolutely. And look at how packed the places. We are indeed ready for history. Let me quickly bring in my guests, pick their quick thoughts on events we are seeing so far. Prof, I'm going to start with you. The day has begun well. We're seeing the number of dignitaries and people who have thronged the Independence Square. What are your expectations of today? Your quick thoughts.
Okay, thank you so much, and good morning to your viewers. I think it speaks very well of our democracy and how far we have come as a country. But largely, the whole concept of inauguration is a generic term that represents three key things. So one, we are looking at the pomp and the pageantry that comes with this. Two, we are looking at the swearing in of the president-elect and then the vice president-elect. And then three, we are looking at the inaugural speech. That is the first policy position that the president-elect is going to deliver. In some countries, it's usually meant to address ill feelings and unite a country that has been divided as a result of a campaign, hectic campaign, or any other thing that might have happened in the past. In some cases, it can be used to appeal for support of the country to rally behind him.
Prof, unfortunately, we're going to have to go. Alfred, where are you taking us now?
So we're going straight to the Parliament House at the Black Star Square. The Speaker is speaking now.
Honorable majority and minority leaders may proceed now.
Welcome the president-elect.
The first arrival will be the vice president-elect, then followed by the president.
Precisely. Giant quantum from drums, sounding out the rhythm of Ghana. And now we have on our screens the police mounted squadron escorting, I believe, the Vice President-elect to the grounds.
The crowd is ecstatic. The noise here is deafening, but it is all for happiness and for joy. We are witnessing a momentous occasion. Ghana having its first female vice president.
The bedlam here is intense. It is intense. There is much joy, happiness, excitement, all in readiness for what we are about to witness.
And security is also in full force. We have various security personnel deployed to ensure the total safety and security of personnel. They are all playing critical roles to ensure that this event goes seamlessly, devoid of any major hitches. We have rich display of culture.
I believe that is...
And that is DSP Mary Agamba. She's in charge of the police mounted squadron.
Invited guests arriving now is the president-elect of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Shall we all wave our flags to welcome him? Distinguished invited guests, arriving now is the President-elect John Dramani Mahama. He is accompanied by his spouse, soon-to-be First Lady, Her Excellency Odinga Dramani Mahama. Shall we all wave our flags to welcome him? Into the Chamber of Parliament here at the Black Star Square. The entourage of Parliament includes the Clerks of Parliament and other senior officials of Parliament. We will soon enter the Chamber of Parliament, and so the Speaker of Parliament will shortly take over. Shall we please rise as they process into the chamber? To announce that only accredited photographers and media personnel are allowed at the designated places on the square.
Honorable members, you may now resume your seats. Members, I now have the singular honor and pleasure to invite Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, to administer the oaths to the President-elect and the Vice President-elect. We will start